Uh, Hare Krishna, dear Matajis, thank you so much. So we are having a good opportunity to hear from Manimala Mataji today, chapter 6, Dhyan Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. And we are very excited. Let's see, what Mataji has to share with all of. Thank you, Mataji. We invite you. Manimala Mataji, please go ahead and you can start the presentation.
Hare Krishna,
Mataji. Need anything?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I don't know, say I've just prepared it. Thanks for the opportunity which you have been given. So I'm just going to start. Like this is only my perception. Say I'm not sure how far it is correct or not. So I started thinking in a different way. I thought of making the summary into the conversations of both Krishna and Arjuna, and hope you all can understand this particular summary. Please really forgive me if there are any mistakes. So this is purely under my perception. So to start with the prayers, Om Agnana Timiradasya Gnana Vasalakyaha Chaktur Anmilan Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Savapadhatikam Sri Rupam Sangrigatam Sahagana Vandehim Sri Guru Sri Yuktapada Kamala Sri Guru Vaishnavascha Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatha Vitram Tam Se Jivam Sadaivatyam Sada Bhutam Parijnana Sahista Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Saha Gana Lalita Sri Vishwa Visak Naviktam cha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bando Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vridhaneshwari Vrishabhandostute Devi Pranamamim Hari Priye Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarabhyo cha Kripa Sindhubhya cha Patitanam Pavanobhya Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Guru Bhaktavaranda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, this particular chapter, the 6th chapter, which is called as Dhyana Yoga or Sankhya Yoga or Atma Samyana Yoga, means this is nothing but the introduction of this particular chapter explains that, see, it's an extension of 5th chapter. The 5th chapter, what he's saying is, the Lord Supreme is saying that you have to go as an yogi, meditate, see, instead of renouncing yourself, go into the devotional service. So how to go directly, as yesterday Premila Mataji said one thing, saying that, see, you can't go directly into the process. So once a person is born directly, he can't walk. So he takes some time to learn step by step. In the same process, Lord Krishna is also explaining Arjuna, saying that, see, today I'm going to explain you how to reach a meditation in the, how to reach your Atma, that is your mind, your soul, in your control, that is nothing but meditation. So in yoga. So in the 6th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains yoga, that is 8-fold yoga system. That means you have to control the mind and senses, which is very clearly explained. See, for example, we'll be eating with the hands. So when we are doing any work with the hands or eating with the hands, the whole body is getting satisfied. It's not only the hand is getting satisfied, or if you are smelling something, some beautiful fragrance, so the whole body, whole system is getting satisfied. So it's like that. He clearly explains that the limbs of the body do not alone get satisfied. Whatever work you do, it is the whole system you're going to get satisfied. The body is made of such a kind that one particular part has also been doing one part of thing, not alone that part is satisfied, rather the whole body is satisfied, which is beautifully explained, the complete as a whole. Similarly, the living entities who acts for the satisfaction of Supreme as a whole and not for the personal satisfaction, but it should be as a perfect sannyasi. Perfect sannyasi means like as a perfect yogi. Perfect yogi is you have to control everything, all your senses, your mind, your soul completely, and put your concentration on the Supreme Consciousness. So automatically you will reach to the position of Jnana Yoga, or it is you try to control the Atma, and it is also called as Atma Samyana Yoga. So this statement was clearly explained by Krishna to the Arjuna. So that yoga here, what he says is, Lord Krishna says that, see, listen Parth, you have to control everything that is Atma. It is nothing but you have to uplift your soul, uplift your Atma. You should uplift your mind. What you're thinking, your thinking perspective, it should be beyond. Beyond what? Beyond on the Supreme. So how to meditate, the qualities he explains very clearly in this chapter, how you should meditate, what are the qualities of good meditation, and how to balance your mind and control them, because your mind is fickle mind. See, for example, if we start reading Bhagavad Gita also, or when we sit for some kind of meditation, just you close your eyes. When we close your eyes, you get n number of things in your mind. Everything, the mind is chanchalatva. Chanchalatva means it is not in constant. Continuously, you might be thinking about your kids, you might be thinking about your job, you might be thinking about your husband's job, you might be thinking about your parents. N number of things are coming in our mind continuously. There is no stop to control our mind. That is what Arjuna also says that. See, here in that ways, the Krishna explains that, see, you have to control your mind. That is very, very important. So I'll tell you the tips to control your mind, how you have to control your mind. So further, Lord Krishna further teaches Arjuna as how one should reach liberation through the path of yoga, realizing the self. And thus Lord Krishna says, he is who rooted in oneness, realizes that I am in every being. That is, one who is keep on performing his prescribed duties without the desires. So first and foremost, the thing, as the whole world is situated with the concept of desire. Without the desire, no person is going to be staying around. With that particular desire only, we try to work hard, we try to earn money, we try to spend the money and all those things. So first he's saying that to control that, whatever you have, you work hard, but don't expect the rewards. I will take care of it. I will show you the good path, provided you should concentrate on me. Okay, so he is called as yogi or sannyasi. Further, Lord Krishna also says, O Parth, one should consider only the disciplined work of activity. Nobody can become a yogi without renouncing all his selfish desires for all his selfish activities, for all his selfish motives, and for all his selfish passion and rewards of all his actions. So he further also says that when Karma Yoga increases in knowledge, it leads to Gnana Yoga. And when Gnana Yoga increases, it leads to meditation. So in the stage of meditation, one fixes his mind. See, karma yoga means we have to do karma. That is, as we already read in third chapter, which is explained by Soumya Mataji. See, we have to do all the good deeds. Karma yoga means you have to do some work or the other. But whatever work you do it in a good process, because whatever you do, it is going to get it back. So when you are doing this particular karma yoga, you continuously doing the good practice or chanting or devotional service, what happens? Finally, you'll reach to a stage of Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga means one kind of thing. See, this is all nothing. It's finally our soul has to reach to the liberation. When we reach to that particular stage of Jnana Yoga, will be automatically, when Jnana Yoga increases, it leads to meditation. So in that particular spot of meditation, when you reach to the Jnana Yoga and close your eyes, then you will see the difference. An ordinary person closing his eyes and sitting without any kind of bhakti in him or any kind of this thing, and he is having a lot of desires and wants and all those things. So finally, what happens when he closes his eyes, he'll get n number of things in his mind, continuously rotating. So what is happening in my job? What is happening with the kids? What is happening? So what is happening with my parents? All these thoughts will be coming. But when you lead to the karma yoga, leaving all the material worlds away and close and leads to continuous doing the good karma, you'll reach to the position of Jnana Yoga. When you reach to the position of Jnana Yoga, automatically when you sit in the meditation, you'll reach to the top meditation. There, you will think only about one personality, that is Supreme Personality. And which there you'll fix the mind only on me. When you fix your mind only on me, that is on the Supreme Consciousness, you are going to reach a super position of yoga that is called Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga means controlling all your, Ashta means 8. Ashtanga Yoga means you're controlling all your 8 senses, your body, your mind, everything. And you're going into the dhyana. And in this stage of yoga, that is dhyana yoga, is attained only when a person's mind, soul, body, everything is in peace. So again, this peace you're going to get only when you have Jnana Yoga. When you are in Jnana Yoga, how to get Jnana Yoga? Only when you're doing good karma. So it's again, it's like a vicious circle. Continuously it is going around. Further, Lord Krishna also says that it is very difficult to control the mind from lust, anger, illusion, etc. because it is always deviate. That means to execute this Ashtanga Yoga. So here Arjuna says that it's very, very difficult to control the mind. You just can't say very easily, saying that you control everything sitting in your position. I mean, you can say everything that you can control, but it's very difficult to control. So here again Krishna says that yes, it's very difficult to control your anger, your illusion, your desires, your lust, whatever it is, it's very difficult to control. To execute this particular Ashtanga Yoga, one has to engage the body, mind, soul, and self with the Supreme. Then only you can achieve this particular Ashtanga Yoga. That means when you can achieve, only when you are thinking about me. You're not thinking beyond that. See, for example, if I want to cook, let us think that I'm cooking only for Krishna. So thinking that I'm only cooking for Krishna. So if I'm doing this particular work, okay, I'm just doing for him. So when you're doing, automatically what happens is it leads to a concentration, and directly you are entering indirect ways of entering and direct ways of entering into him. That is thinking in your mind, body, mind, soul, everything. You're thinking only under his perception. So then you can achieve this Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. Further, Krishna also explains that yoga is not for a person who eats very less, or who eats very more. I mean, too much eating, too much less eating or starving. Not for that people, or the person, it's only for the middle-aged people. I mean, not middle thinking. He should be subtle in all the ways. For example, you should see the gold as well as the stone as one and the same. That is what he says. That means when you see everything as in the same manner, then automatically you try to develop the peace. So in this case, what happens is you will be far from the desires. So with that, who starves himself and who sit in a peaceful place with his body, mind erect, to regulate the habits of, and he should also regulate this particular habit of eating, sleeping, recreating, and work to the free of oneself from material desires. So then he can become a good yogi. After listening all these things, Arjuna got one more doubt, and he further asked Krishna that chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramathi balvada dadraham tasyam nigraham manye vayur evi sudakshakaram. Means here he's saying that I have one more doubt further, that okay, you are saying that one has to control their senses, sit in a peaceful place and start meditating or thinking about you, but to fix the mind on you or on self is very, very difficult. Why? Because mind will be wandering more than the wind. The wind blows. We see that wind is blowing very fast. I mean, too much of breeze and all we'll be thinking. But our mind runs beyond that. And it is very easily, you can easily get deviated. You just can't put your concentration in one particular thing. So for this particular discussion of Arjuna, Lord Krishna explains that one's mind will rush, but who controls this urges through meditation? Continuously, you should practice on this particular thing. And finally, you will reach to the joy, happiness in me, thinking about me. So one can attain the highest perfection, supreme consciousness, which leads to samadhi. After listening to this, Arjuna has some more doubts. So he further questions Lord Krishna that, oh my Lord, it is very difficult to control the mind and practice yoga. If suppose a person is in full faith,
Hare
suppose
Krishna Mataji, Mataji's got stuck. Is it for me or everyone?
It's fine. Mataji, it's clear. It's fine, Mataji.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
it
it's
was
fine.
going good, Mataji, for me too.
Okay, maybe my problem. Sorry. I'm sorry.
okay. So it is very difficult to control the mind and practice yoga. So if suppose a person is full in faith in you, he's totally devotion to you, he's totally devoted to you, and he totally worships you constantly. And because of his fickle mind, suddenly, if he might change, he cannot control himself. And after choosing the path of yoga, if he deviates from yoga and unable to reach to the final goal of liberation, then what is his condition? So he'll ask it, because it's normal. It's a human being nature, right? It's a human nature. So we can't stick on to one particular thing. See, for example, if we want to choose 2 to 3 things also, we'll have a number of things. Why I did not, after choosing that also, we'll think that why I choose this, I could have taken that. So like that, the mind continuously wanders and we can't put in one particular position or in the straight this thing. So after taking one particular item also, say once we go to purchase a saree also, we'll see 3-4 varieties of sarees and we'll buy one thing and we'll come off. After that, why I did not buy that color suits more than this color. So like that, it is not one particular thing. See, you can't stick on to one particular thing. So it's in human nature, it's a common nature. So that common nature was just asked by the Arjuna, saying that, okay, fine, I think that there are maybe think that I'm totally devoted to you, I totally worship you, I might reach to the yoga of Gnana Yoga and doing the meditation. Suddenly, if I change my mind, what happens? I'm neither to the mystic world, nor to the spiritual world, not to the material world. So in this way, what is the position of that particular this thing? So here, Bhagavan Vacha, Lord Krishna says, Pardha naiveha mamutraha vinascha tasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kachatim dukkim tata gachatim. So Lord Krishna says, my friend, remember one thing. A person who does good work and good actions, good things, never ever comes to any harm. He will never perish in any of the world. He finally reaches to me because he know that he is already into that particular gnana. He is on to the top. He can't come down also. So when he is in that particular top, maybe little disturbances might occur, but still finally he will reach to me. Don't worry about that. Arjuna says, but it is very difficult to control the mind than controlling the wind. As in any other ways to control the mind, again he's having the doubt because it's in human. Continuously in this chapter, nearly 2 to 3 times he'll be asking, is there any way to control the mind? Is there any way to control the mind? Because he knows the human nature normally. So whatever kind, whatever benefits, see, always we think that there are 2 ways. See, always sometimes we get happiness, sometimes we get sorrow, sometimes we get happiness, sometimes we get sorrow. So continuously it's a changing mind. So you just can't control. In happiness we might change, sometimes in sorrow we might change. So the mind is not in a constant position. So continuously, this is the 3rd time or the 4th time the Arjuna is asking again Krishna, saying that you tell me one more way to control the mind. So again Lord Krishna says that just like a lamp placed in a shelter, if you lit a lamp and put it in the shelter, it is protected from the breeze and it will burn steadily. So in the same manner, the yogi is always remains calm. He always remains calm, composed, steady, sinless, and free from all past sins. And he is fully in consciousness of Supreme. Further, Krishna explains that you don't have to do all those difficult process where the ancient yogis used to do it. So, or sages used to do it. They used to pray for a god for years together to get the attention of the god. But in this Kali Yuga, it's very easy. The next Kali Yuga, which is very, very easy, the process is just chant, hear the devotional things, then doing the spiritual services and devotional services, one can control his mind. And it becomes continuous if you just do continuously practice in the same manner. This further explained again in Bhakti Yoga. This particular chapter is again cleanly explained in the Bhakti Yoga. So it says that undoubtedly, if you control this and continuous practice, you will become a tapasvi. Tapasvi is in olden days where the yogas used to do the tapas to get that particular devotional service of the Lord. And also the supreme to Gnana, the person of knowledge. You will be beyond to the person of knowledge, and even supreme to Karmi, the person of action. So Krishna says, Arjuna, strive to be a yogi. The topmost yogi is the yogi in Bhakti Yogi who is completely surrendered to me. So finally, what he's saying is, whatever you want to, it's not that difficult to control the mind. You can do it, but initially it is not possible. You have to do it as a practice, slowly by step, as from learning from crawling to the walking to running. In the same manner, at a stretch, I am not asking you to leave everything and just concentrate only on me. No, Do your duties, slowly concentrate on me, slowly enter into the good karma. From karma, you can reach to the gnana. From gnana, you can reach to me in a spiritual position as a yogi. So, chant, spiritual service leads to yoga and meditation. Finally, this is the prospects of the conclusion said by the Krishna that finally you should do a good karma, from there practice yoga, and always think about me, spread about me. That is Ananya Bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Such a beautiful presentation. Let me tell you, you're such a natural teacher. And today, especially with camera on, we could see your expression, the ease and comfort, of narrating, even while being on screen. It was too good, Mataji. I have only one thing to say. Of course, there are so many things. I'll come back. But for now, I will just say one thing, Mataji. You have so much potential. And you, of course, you have been teaching earlier also in college, but now, Mataji, you should take up teaching Bhagavad Gita. You have moved in new community. Please gather some kids and, do some shloka class, because, I have learned that it is only through shloka class that, us ladies are able to do better, preaching or spreading of Krishna conscious message, because children are like our, what to say, they are like our weapons. So please, Mataji, it's a request from my side that you should start, even if there are two kids, that will be so nice, Mataji. Thank you so much
Thank you, Mataji.
for being such a good, teacher. And you can definitely, teach so many kids and benefit the entire, place that you have moved, and much more. Thank you, Mataji. I will, come back again, but let's, ask other Matajis to unmute and say any appreciation words and, any questions that they have for Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manimala Mataji. Excellent job. No way, no words to express, Mataji. My eyes were like still on you only. Was not able to move my eyes here and there, only on you only. It was so nice, very relaxed and very nice explained. Superb, Mataji. And even I wish the same, like Mamta Mataji said, we should try to take classes for the kids, Mataji, because they are the future, right? If you teach at least a kid, it will helpful for at least one family, and it will go like 2 families, 3 families, almost how much ever you can reach. I wish Mataji should do that. It was so nice, Mataji, and the things you said, everything was clear. It was so nice. No words to express. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank
you so
you.
much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, other Matajis, Poonam Mataji, everyone. Sure.
Hare Krishna Manimala Mataji. It was so nice, Mataji. You made it very simple, very easy to understand, and I can't turn also. Actually, I was keep on listening to you. Your voice also was so nice, and the explanation you told was very, very good, Mataji. Very happy, Mataji. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and make it
Thank
and you very, very simple and easy to understand also. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Soumya here.
Soumya. Hi, Soumya.
Hare Krishna Mataji. It was like, I remember the day when Mamta Mataji asked you to pick up this chapter. So I can see the now I can realize the confidence why she was having that. I can literally see that. Oh my God, like you truly delivered that chapter. Awesome. It was so good. And like, I like the flow and the correct word the Mamta Mataji has said, like a teacher, like teacher should be soft as well as strict also. Like when I heard, most of the time I heard your voice only, right? So I was thinking, oh, she might be very strict. But now I can see now with your face, the politeness, the humbleness, like how nicely you explain
Mhm.
like the way Krishna explained to Arjuna, like, okay,
Mhm.
Arjuna, okay, listen, like that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji.
Go ahead, Mataji. I'm sorry.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, it was cool. It was so nice, Mataji. You, in a very simple way, with a very nice flow, you went through the entire thing without us wanting to even blink an eye and without stopping hearing. In a very simple way, you explained everything. Like any child also would understand how you, that's how you explained it. It was beautiful. It was really very cool. And it was really worth listening. Every word that you said was worth listening, Mataji. And imagine how well you have grasped everything in your mind already, to have put forth all this in a very simple and systematic way, so that each of us can easily get the actual summary and the gist of what you were saying. Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Manimala Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Shraddha.
Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation, Mataji. And as Soumya Mataji said, it was so clear. ऐसे छोटे बच्चे को भी बिठा दो, they will also understand it very easily, nicely. Like a nice, experienced teacher who knows the subject matter perfectly. You know, you were giving your presentation in that way, Mataji. So many things in your presentation, the way you were reciting certain Sanskrit, you know, liners, they were also so perfect. Very catchy in the presentation. And again, I would say, as Mataji are saying, I wanted to go away and do something, but I was just sitting, and I'm just, if I open my camera and show you, maybe when I get up now, my knees are going to be having pain. मैं record करके ऐसे बैठ गई, आपने start किया, and I'm just sitting like that only. कब से? Because I didn't want to go away, because it was going on nice, calm, smooth, like a nice breeze flowing. वैसे kind of your presentation. So thank you so much, Mataji, for you know, starting from the eightfold Ashtanga Yoga to elevating us to the mode of Bhakti Yoga. Thank you for that, Mataji. Very beautiful presentation. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Shraddha Mataji.
Pooja Mataji, Monica Mataji, would you like to say anything here?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'm Pooja.
Pooja Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, so beautiful and very clear explanation. And जो आपने लास्ट में बोला कि सिर्फ only भक्ति से ही हम कर सकते हैं, तो it is true, Mataji. Very very beautiful, Mataji. बहुत ही अच्छा एक्सप्लेन करके आपने बहुत अच्छा, और सारा क्लियर पूरा रहा कि हाँ, समझ में भी सारा आया कि हाँ कैसे कैसे क्या करना है. तो थैंक यू सो मच माताजी. थैंक यू माताजी. हरे कृष्ण.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. So Mataji, you know, we really like that example of sari. So relatable. And then also, like Jessa, you know, we always say that this chapter has a lot of suspense, because it is the first part of Bhagavad Gita, like, you know, Sambandh, where we get to know who is Krishna. So here again and again, you know, when you were talking about Chanchalahi Mana Krishna, Chanchalvat, like, you know, the mind is so restless. And again, like you said, that Arjuna is asking so many times. And in the end, you know, that one word which you ended, Ananya Bhakti, that was like, you know, the conclusion, and the way you delivered it really, you know, hit the spot, where it, you know, gives us a reminder again and again that yes, bhakti is the answer. Because sometimes, you know, it so happens that we are doing everything out of routine, but to get real feel of it and doing, we miss the, you know, purpose sometimes. But it was a very good reminder that Ananya Bhakti is the only answer for everything. So that was very nice, Mataji. And as I said, you're a very natural teacher. So please utilize Mataji. Start. Yeah.
Sure, Mataji.
Thank
Sure.
you so much. And getting into the mood with sari and all, that is another level. Thank you, Mataji. Hari bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. With your this thing only, I started something, but I'm deep into this, totally slowly entering. Every time I'll be playing this thing and listening to it. So slowly.
Yes.
Thank you for your suggestion also. You gave a good suggestion. I'll try to do
Really,
that.
Mataji, try to do this, Mataji. My request to you. Please, please.
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
So Mataji, last time when you did this 6th chapter, I can see that the realization has gone even, of course, I'm no one to see, but still I could see that, to this time it was more extra, more, last time only it was so nice, all Mataji said, it was so difficult to even move around. Even I thought, that, okay, today is the first time that I'm sitting at one place throughout the, chapter summary, because all these days it so happened that, I was busy, or there was work in the house, but today I thought, okay, I'm little free, so I'll sit and listen. But then again, as you said, Chanchala Himana Krishna, I thought, okay, let me do multitask and move around, put some things away and listen to you. But the flow with, the way you had held us is made it very difficult. In fact, it was good for me that I sat down. I'm still sitting from 8:30. I'm sitting at one place and listening. So it was better for me. Thank you, Mataji, for your association. So we were able to hear. So like I was saying that last time, what you said, this time, it was more, but nicer understanding, Mataji. Thank you so much. If we do it next year, again, you do this chapter, Mataji, 6th chapter for us. Yeah, Hari bol.
Mataji,
Krishna.
you did this chapter last year too?
Yes, Mataji.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nobody had taken this chapter, right? So we were thinking who to say. Then I remembered, okay, Manimala Mataji had done. So
Oh,
if
okay.
it will be easy for.
Mataji, next year we want more realizations from you on this
Yeah.
chapter.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, Mataji.
Mataji, you are already, so inspiring. From the day one that you came in Cheswick, I remember you had come with Mamta. You had Mamta, yeah. You and Mamta came, and both your daughters were coming for Shloka class. Those were like, the best days of Shloka
Yeah.
class also. So many big kids, small kids. Wow. That was something very, nice.
Mhm.
And then your kids are also like, so sincere, and especially Laya. One time, see, usually when teenage girls are around, they are in their own world. They like to
Yes.
talk, they like to be in their phone and be in their own world. But I have seen, with Laya, one time we had programs, so she came and offered me that, do you need help? And I was like, wow. So fortunate that, somebody is asking me. Otherwise, kids are in their own world. So very exemplary that how to raise kids. So that thing I'll never forget. I also took picture of Leia, working in the kitchen. So
Mhm.
with Krishna consciousness, you're also teaching them, values,
Yes,
of-
yes. And even they also teach me.
Wow.
Aya and Shruti also say that this is not the way you talk, or this is not this thing. You have to do this prayer. You have to do that prayer. And both of them, without reading one round of Hare Krishna mantra, they will not leave the home. Every day morning, they will do that, and then they'll go to school.
Yeah, wow. I remember, Mataji, you all took kids. So that's really nice. So inspiring.
So
And
with them only, even sometimes even I'll get motivated. Okay, kids are doing, let me also do it. Doing that.
yeah, see, kids are our motivation, Mataji. That's why, I always feel that the Shloka class is the only one, which keeps us going.
That's true, Mataji. Sometimes Shruti says that I did not learn shloka, and is going to scold me and all. I say that never, he will never scold you. You say that, okay, you would not concentrate or you did not do the work, but don't miss that class. बोल के मैं बोलती थी. उसको.
Yes, Mataji, Shruti तो आती है एकदम sincerely बैठती है, so I'm very grateful because I'm learning whatever I've learned, it's because of kids only, honestly. So then, yeah, so they are actually my teachers. So really, thank you, Mataji, for giving their like allowing them to come and teaching them and inspiring others, because I remember you'll always tell other people also to join shloka class.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, so much
Mataji.
to do in this life. Beautiful, Mataji. Let's take a picture of you here. Okay, I took a screenshot. So thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
So Mataji, if we can end the call here, right? And waiting to hear from Pooja Mataji tomorrow. Pooja Mataji, are you ready, Mataji?
Yeah, माताजी थोड़ा सा लग तो रहा है माताजी कैसे कर पाओगे, बट आई डोंट नो.
सब कृष्णा के ऊपर छोड़ दीजिए.
या माताजी,
He'll only take.
माताजी बताएं.
That is what, no, the first Bhagavad Gita, what is the main summary is, be fearless. When I'm here, don't fear.
Yeah, माताजी. एक्चुअली माताजी पढ़ना अलग होता है और एक्सप्लेन करना इतने लोगों के सामने वो अलग होता है. ऐसे तो बताना तो ऐसा
no, it's not that. Even for me also, the thinking is always I'll think on him. Whatever, now I became so thinking everything. See, I'm not getting worried also for everything.
Yeah, माताजी.
On him and going for.
ट्राई करूंगी माताजी जितना बेस्ट हो सकेगा, बट आई डोंट नो.
माताजी पता क्या है, ये तो हम है ना अपने लिए ही करते हैं, अपनी समझ के लिए करते हैं. और साथ में देखो, आप तो जब आपकी हमने पहले भी 1-2 कथाएं सुनी है, इट वाज वेरी नाइस. और देखो, डर होना तो अच्छी बात है. एक्चुअली ये डर नहीं है, ये एंजाइटी है, बिकॉज हम इसको बोलते हैं ना, थोड़ी सी घबराहट है. तो ये तो होनी चाहिए माताजी, नहीं तो ना फिर अगर हम वो सोचेंगे कि नहीं हम तो कर लेंगे, तो वो थोड़ा वो भी हो जाता है, ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस हो जाता है. तो डर होना एक अच्छी बात है, लेकिन उसके साथ में बस हमें ये भी समझना है कि कर तो कृष्णा ही रहे हैं. हम सिर्फ जैसे ना हम सब्जी में चम्मच हिलाते हैं, तो हम चम्मच होते हैं, तो चम्मच तो जो सब्जी बना रहा होता है वही हिलाता है, लेकिन स्वाद जो है सब चम्मच को पहले मिलता है सब्जी का. तो वी आर जस्ट लाइक चम्मच इन हैंड्स ऑफ कृष्णा, तो डोंट वरी माताजी, हमें पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस है कि आप उसमें अच्छे से अपना प्यार डाल दोगे और बहुत अच्छा रहेगा कल माताजी. तो ठीक है. तो माताजी, श्रद्धा माताजी, you can stop the recording. We'll discuss about day after.
Okay, Mataji, sure.
Okay, Saranda Mataji.